Hey everybody, it's your boy Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast, your host of the incredible podcast coming to you live in America. And today we have a very special guest. This man is absolutely incredible, and he is changing the wine and spirits industry forever. And we are going to sample his delicious nectar of the gods here live on Gentleman Style Podcast. Here we go. Hey everybody, this is Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast, your host of the number one podcast coming to you live in America. And today we have the CEO and founder, Mr. Chander, here speaking live on Gentleman Style Podcast. And he is about to dive deep with us on his delicious nectar of the gods, Red Eye Louie, and his special blend of rum and tequila mix. This CEO is an international expert in the spirits industry for 20 plus years and is the founder of the Red Eye Louie Inc. Incorporated. Mr. Chander started the company in 2011 by helping his daughter, Miss Nina, with her college project by creating the company's first product, Vodquila blend, a blend of vodka and tequila. You guessed it. And it is phenomenal. Mr. Chander turned his daughter's college assignment into an international spirits business. With his knowledge of chemistry, he is able to create all the formulas and recipes for each blend of the delicious nectar that we are going to discuss here on Gentleman Style Podcast today. So without further ado, let me introduce the founder and CEO, Mr. Chander himself, coming to the stage. Yay!
Thank you, Marcus, for having me.
Thank you for being on the Gentleman Style Podcast show, sir. Thank you for coming to the stage, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come out. Sir, that story is incredible, and that tells us that you are a family man and started off serving your family, but then it branded into what we see today as now the Red Eye Louie brand. So I feel like there's a story behind Red Eye Louie. What made you decide to mix the two together, rum and tequila?
Well, as you mentioned, Marcus, that we started the company with the concept of vodka and tequila, which is Vodquila as our primary main brand. We introduced that in 2011. And that was the inspiration to start the company. And just let me briefly say why we did that. It was, of course, Nina's project. She was graduating from her business class. The marketing professor had assigned them that you need to imagine something that is not in the market and then find out a way to sell it. Just, it was a theoretical exam, but they have to write a project and they have to find a way to sell it. At home, we were doing something in the bar and just drinking vodka or something like that. And then she said, well, Dad, what about tequila and vodka together? Has that been done? I said, I don't think so. Let's Google it. Google was, beginning to get effective at that time. So we just trying to find out. There was no information about blending those spirits, even though they are being used in many, many recipes of cocktails. They are blended like, you already know Long Island tea uses 4 or 5 of them. But nothing that was available if you needed it together. So we just thought, why not? And that why not gradually became a passion. And then we, with a lot of experimentation in the kitchen, we came about this tequila and vodka combination. The basic premise behind that is we need to reduce the pungent and the smell and the nasty taste of tequila, because that is the one drink that I seldom see people sipping. That's the one that you take a shot and trying to chase it with something. If you add vodka in there, we use vodka primarily as an additive, just like water, because vodka has no smell, it has no taste, it has no color. So we used it as to reduce the taste of the tequila, which was very, the burn was very bad, and the taste is very pungent. So we used that, and that's when the Vodquila came through. That was a breakthrough because there was nobody in the market, and we had fortunately created a. This bottle is designed by her too, and we designed the bottle in house, and we thought that, look, we're gonna make 1,000 cases, and if we sell it, great. If we don't, we'll be drinking this for next 30 years because that's all we can do. But long story short, this came about in 2011 September, and since then we have sold more than 100,000 cases of this product, and we are fortunately in 31 states in United States. We are selling it here. We are in all over Europe. We are in South Africa. We sell in Australia. We sell in Egypt. We sell in Dubai, UAE, and now we are talking to Greece, especially, and Israel. Jordan is asking, even though those are predominantly Muslim countries, or they don't drink as much as we do, but there is a gift giving culture that this bottle has been very much appreciated as a gift. So we are, for different reasons, for different zones, we are selling it. Primarily in USA, we are selling it because of the taste. It has a very good packaging. That's how we all started selling. People wanted to buy it to put on their shelf, but later on they said, well, the liquid is good too. So that's where the vodka and tequila came together. Now you asked me, the question was, why rum tequila, right?
Right.
So I gave you the background why we put the tequila and vodka together. In that case, tequila is a prominent spirit. Vodka has been added to it to make it less pungent and less the burn on that. Whereas rum and tequila was used differently. If you see in the market, rum being a brown spirit has been there for a long time. This is basically what we drank 300 years back. Beside rye whiskey, rum was the next thing because cane was available, molasses were available, and even British people settled here. Even in Caribbean, everybody was drinking rum. But then rum lost its flavor. We had Bacardi came through, and that company instituted that the white rum, which became a very, very prominent rum for the Caribbean or the tropical weathers, and a lot of recipes use that rum. And the brown rum, actually, dark rum lost track. The people didn't, drink it anymore. But then when it resurfaced, it resurfaced as a spice rum.
Right.
And that spice rum uses nutmegs, vanilla. It uses a couple of more spices, cinnamon in there to give it that extra kick to it. And now it has become a very popular. Everybody's making spice rum.
True.
What we did was that we wanted to introduce a dark rum product, but we did not want to use same old recipe of nutmeg, vanilla, cinnamon, and small other things. We just thought that tequila itself is a very beautiful drink. If we add little tequila to it and give it that spice from a natural product rather than have an artificial flavors in there, it might actually do very well to the product. So what we did was we took a 3 years old Puerto Rican rum and then added tequila to it only for the purpose of spicing it up. So if when you drink it, you have the predominantly rum taste, but you have a little bit tequila in there as a spice. And Marcus, the package is beautiful, the color is beautiful, and we introduced this in 2018. And would you believe that the sale of rum tequila is half of what Vodquila sells? So we are
Really?
already captured in 2 years or third year going on. We have already captured the 8 years work that we did for the Vodquila. It has come to half of the sales of that. So it's just picking up in the market. And we sell this product also in Europe. It is sold in Australia also, not in South Africa as yet. In UAE and all that, we sell this. So that's where the tequila was added, and tequila became our signature there. Now we are known as a company of blends. We only had one blend, then became rum tequila, which is another blend. And now we had a problem of name, the corporate name. You asked me the question where the Red Eye Louie came from.
Right.
Our corporate name was Vodquila LLC.
Really?
Vodquila, yeah, it was our corporate name. For 8 years, we were Vodquila LLC because that was our only product. But then later on, we thought that our logo, our skull, the one that you see with a sombrero, tilted sombrero also has a meaning. It's like I don't give a what, because all the rangers they keep their the caps tilted. So tilted sombrero was like we are not same old thing. We are new. We don't give a whatever. We're gonna disrupt the market. So we already had the Red Eye Louie as a name to it. We just thought, why don't we make our company Red Eye Louie? And then the Vodquila becomes a brand, and Rumquila becomes a brand, and then we can add more brands under there. So Vodquila was taken out in 2018 and rebranded as Red Eye Louise, and now we have three brands under there, which is Vodquila, you already seen it, Rumquila, Marcus, you just showed that, and Marcus, I have one, and you have one too. So cheers. This is our new product. It's called Whiskeyla, and this was now in line of the tradition that we are a company of blends, and we wanted to create something new in the same line. There is a audience there. There is adult demographic that like the blends, and so we introduce a rye whiskey, which is the new. Bourbon has been there forever. Rye whiskey just caught on fire lately. So instead of going with a bourbon whiskey, we just thought we'll just go to rye. And this is a rye made in Upper Rockies. It's an old rye whiskey. And we added again the same way. Now you can see in the whiskey market, people have, because whiskey got stagnated, the sales were dropping. So people started adding again cinnamon, which is a fireball. Then they started adding honey. Then they started adding maple syrup. Have you seen that? Now you have a peanut butter whiskey. You're I don't know you know that or not.
Nah, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
peanut butter whiskey too. So whiskey was being promoted by adding some flavors. We thought the same thing. Why not? We have done tequila with vodka. We have done rum with tequila. Why don't we do whiskey with tequila and give that spice that it needs with a natural product rather than artificial additional, marketing gimmicks basically. So we added little tequila in there. It is only to enhance that extra kick in there. The percentage of the alcohol is still the same. It's still 40%. It's a very good old rye whiskey. I cannot say the how old it is because we are not. If it's a blended product, so we cannot specify the age unless it's a purely that product only. Then we can say it's a 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But once it's blended with the non-aged product, which is we did tequila, which is non-aged, it's only aged for a few months. So that's why we cannot say how much old it is, but it is an old rye whiskey. It's aged, and then we added the tequila in there, and now that has taken off in the market. It was introduced in January of 2020, and we are already in about 15 states.
The
We
whiskey.
Whiskeyla.
Okay.
The reason we are not in 31 states and not overseas is because we want to do soft launch on these things. Uh, Everybody knows that pandemic, COVID-19 kind of put everything in a jeopardy. We could not travel. We could not attend the shows. We could not go to meet the distributors. So these things don't happen automatically. You have to push it. You have to go meet the people. So that's why we only introduced to the states that they're already doing very well with our brands. They was the following. So we sent them those samples and they accepted it. But this year, if the travel opens up, we will try to put it out to the rest of the United States, and that'll be our third product in line. And since we got noticed by many online portals, NPR did a piece on
And
us.
me.
and you and some other podcast, and then we've been interviewed by the TV people, the local ABC channels. We've been on the shows. We do travel a lot. My daughter, being the daughter of an immigrant, even though she was born in the United States, kind of a female leading a liquor brand was kind of unusual. So she became talk of the town in 2012, 2013, and she was just out of the college because it was our college product, and she was interviewed by multiple hosts and people at that time in the shows, and we were you may not believe it, but there is an international competition called International Wine and Spirits Competition in England. It's
Really?
in London. So we submitted our Vodquila to that place in 2014, and we got a silver award for that. And we were in their front page PR post. That's the biggest award. They have about 270 brands that were awarded out of 1,000, 1,500 brand submission. 270 got awarded in different categories. We
Wow.
got awarded without a category. That was the news. They said Aldi introduced that was their new Aldi introduced the Scotch. This is a new product. We don't even have a category to introduce it. So we're gonna say this is gonna be the future. This is gonna be the blend. So they gave us silver, not in vodka, not in tequila. They don't have a category.
In
So
your
they
own special
Yes,
category.
and this was their main PR page of the whole competition announcement, and that got picked up by the Mirror, the Telegraph, newspapers in UK, and of course NPR picked it up. So we got good press out of that. So those things, those new imaginative, new work, I think does make a difference to the new younger crowd who are looking for something new. They have been, like tequila, younger tequila drinker, even of the Spanish descent. They don't want to drink the same tequila their parents drink.
Right.
They are experimenting nowadays. That doesn't necessarily mean the bourbon drinker, the whiskey drinker, who are in 60s, their children are drinking the same whiskey they are drinking.
Right.
The younger crowd is looking for some experimentation. You've seen that in vodka category in last 10 years. At one time, there were 27 flavors available in vodka.
That's too much. Oh my
That's
gosh.
too much. Now everybody has reduced them, and now apple, the citrus color. There are three or four or five which are popular, and everything else like bacon vodka. Do you ever heard of it?
I don't
Bacon
want to.
was available.
I don't want
And
to.
cupcake vodka was available. Just like peanut butter whiskey is available, peanut butter vodka was available. But experimentation, it sold for a little while because the kids picked it up, the young adults picked it up. But we are sustaining because we are not experimenting with frivolous flavors.
Right.
We are experimenting with the basic drinks. We are saying that these drinks are independently very good drinks. But at the same time, if you blend it together, you can have a unique flavor exactly, which we have not seen in last 100 years or so. How many innovative drinks that have you seen that were not before available before? Everything was available almost in 1920s when the prohibition happened. It's
Right.
still the same thing. But we are just trying to say, well, look, this is an idea from a young brain, very educated girl. She went to a very good private school, private college, came up with this idea. We made it happen. Public supported it, and it has become a talk of the town. Now, if you search, I'm not going to say the names because they are very big celebrities. There are people, there are rappers who wrote memes about her, because it's just crazy. So if you Google us, we've been profiled by so many people. People are doing tasting, people doing trying to make their own drinks with it. But we've been blessed, actually. We've been blessed by, of course, the God and the United States together. If it, nothing without God, nothing happens. And the United States is the only country on earth that will give a chance to an immigrant like me that came here with a suitcase and made me. We are very blessed to have a good living, good children. Both I have a son and a daughter, They are both involved in the business, even right now. Even though they took their own career paths, my daughter became a very famous designer, and she designed clothes, and she designs products like for the cosmetic industry. And my son went to college in Emory, and he went to hedge fund industry. Both my children live in New York, but they help in this company too because they are smarter than me, so they can do it, from the distance. But I'm just, trying to make the everything happen, the production, the planning, and all that. But those kids are the one that actually uh, giving the direction to the company. So the company is actually run by youngsters who are actually the customers.
Wow.
I am just managing the whole affairs because I've been here a little longer, and you can see that with the age you gain some experience. So, but
Absolutely.
we have become very big now, and I know that you had asked me a question before the podcast that we are the future of the company we are looking for. Now we have put our company's shares for sale, and your audience, your esteemed people, or if they are willing to, they can inquire about it. And the portal that we used is startengine.com. It's a START engine.com. Thank you. And that's the login. And even if you don't remember Red I Louise, please just search it in startengine.com and it'll pop up. And we already have a lot of shareholders, and it's growing every day. And we are, with the money that we are generating, we are planning to add four more products in coming years.
We
Each
we
product.
are going we are going to talk about that real quick. We got to take a commercial.
All right.
We're
Sure.
going to go
Please.
to a quick commercial break. Thank you all for tuning in. We are going to be right back. We have the incredible Mr. Chander and his incredible company that we now discovered is led and is a family legacy business now, that he has incorporated his own children, his own family into this business. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go away. See you soon.
I'm Marcus Norman, bringing fresh vibes to hot topics surrounding culture, relationships, business, finance, sex, dating, faith, and everything in between. Whether you're into passive income opportunities, trending topics and useful relationship tips, or dynamic guest speakers, there's something for everyone. You can expect all that and more every week. If you're down with this content, then consider joining our growing community by subscribing to Gentleman Style Podcast and smash the bell to get on our VIP list. Your support means the world. Thanks for watching. Link to my channel.
Hey everyone, this is Marcus Norman from Gentleman Style Podcast, your host of the number one podcast coming to you live in America. And we have the incredible Mr. Chander, CEO and founder of the Red Eye Louie brand. He just disclosed to us the three top tier brands, and he is national, global, and he is spreading the word, and even won the silver award for his top brand and created his own. The drink is so phenomenal. He created a whole new competition line that no one else has ever done before, and he is leading the way with his Vodquila brand. So you can get into this investment. We're going to get into this. I want to sample this. I want to sample it live for you so the audience can see, because even if you don't invest, this is delicious, right? It's absolutely this. So I am just gonna pour me a small glass, right? And we're gonna have a small glass of the Vodquila brand. So this is Red Eye Louie. This is the Vodquila mix, 40% proof. So here we go.
And look at the color is so beautiful.
The color is beautiful. The smell is so it's not overwhelming, but it's delicious. My mouth is already salivating before I even taste it. And I think that's the spice. So cheers.
That's right. Cheers. Cheers. And it's smooth.
So what? So that there's a sudden. It's bold. It's not It's not light. It's not. It's not overwhelming though, but it's very rich and it's very bold. So, how did you get to this perfect mixture?
Every drink that I create now, it takes some experimentation, some percentages, playing with different rums. Like in the beginning when we did the vodka and tequila, there was a process that we had to use. It's called thermal blending. You do it every day at home, but people don't realize what they're doing, what it's called. Like for example, you take a tea bag and put it in a cold water, nothing happens. But you put a same tea bag in a boiling hot water, the colors come out. That's you just did it at thermal blending. So what we did was with the two, put the vodka and tequila together because they don't like each other. The molecule structures are different. So we had to use thermal blending. So we used the same thermal blending in this case. We did heat up the rum and added smaller percentage of tequila in there. Not the same percentage that you find in Vodquila because their primarily drink is actually tequila, and vodka is added to reduce the effect of it. That way you can sip it. You can don't have to chase it. You don't have to add nothing in that. Rum is different. It's a predominantly a very beautiful rum. It has a rich aroma. It has all the right notes, and but the tequila was added as a spice to it. So because it just takes it away from the run of the mill sweet rums. It is not sweet rum. It is a rum that it just wakens your senses, and you can drink it on ice. You can drink it with a little splash of water, just like you do scotch, or you can add Coke in there, which has been, for almost now 50, 70 years, we've been drinking rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke.
But I would say that if you want to put a Coke in a drink, then you don't have to pay the high point, price on that. You can Coke will kill everybody, everything. So Coke would be my last resort to drink a drink, but it is popular. We all every day Jack and Coke runs. Similarly, our drink work very well with Coke, but we have other recipes also. If you join our website, redeye.louie.com, you have recipes. We have many other handles of the. We'll come to it in the podcast, and we will explain those handles. You can find our recipes for Rumquila there. But Rumquila has also garnered many awards. Again, from IWSC, the one that I mentioned in 2014, gave us an award for Vodquila. We got Rumquila awarded there too. There was an award for design, as well as for the drink, and as well as for the mixed drink. So we got some awards in 2017-18 from the same institution, and which is very, very respected institution in England. So I like it. I personally drink it in the evening. It's my go-to drink, even though vodka and Vodquila was invented first, but this has been my favorite because I like the brown spirits. That's just my preference.
And you just touched on something that's important for the audience members. Again, even if you don't want to invest, this is very affordable. I know it looks fancy and it looks top shelf, and it should, in my opinion, should be top shelf. But this is actually really, really affordable.
It is. If you want me to mention, Marcus, in many markets, we are at $19.99, and majority of the market, or as a common price denominator, is $22. But certain states which tax quite a bit, and especially the states that has a government control, it might be found at $27.99. But our common denominator is 22, but 19 is also in Texas and all that. In Georgia, so you can find it at $19.99. That's our preferred price, but it's way less than $45 that we all pay for the major brands, because that's the brand value you're paying. The material is actually, our drinks taste better because it has no pungent taste to it. It doesn't come through your nose. You don't have to chase it. There's no burn there. So there is a, better. And then that's why we're successful. It's not that I'm telling you and you should believe me. please go ahead and buy something. And in many markets, we sell 50 ml, which is a minis. And if you don't want to spend $20, $30, you just go ahead and buy that $2 item. And I think you'll like it. And those are available in many, many markets. And then on top of that, if you don't have it in your state, reservebar.com will send it to you. We have our drinks available on our online portal. The name is Reserve Bar, one word, reservebar.com, and they will sell to many states that allow liquor drinks by mail. So please, try it, and you make your own decision. We are here to help.
So this is phenomenal. It's affordable. It's delicious. It's easy on the palate. It's not overwhelming. You can do it in a combination. Rum and Coke. Mr. Chander just said it. Rum and Coke. You can have it straight up. You can have it on the rocks. You can have it smooth without the rocks. This is a very, very diverse drink. So it's not for the faint of heart, and it doesn't require a whole lot of touch up. You can touch it up, but you don't have to. And that's why I love this brand.
Yeah,
it's an absolute
many recipes that many cocktails can use it. Hurricane is one of those, but you can experiment. Please do and let us know, because we will use your recipe for our next award. If you like it, that means you've done a good job. Just let us know, and we'll give you credit on our website, on our podcast. We have our own blogs also, so we will give you credit, and then submit it for tasting. So please share your thoughts and recipes on that, and we will give you all the channels to come back to us, which Marcus will be probably explaining to you, because we have every handle that you normally think of. So
absolutely. So you tell us, what is for something this incredible with that kind of sales, nationally known, award-winning, the investment to get in is probably thousands of dollars to get in, to invest in this. What is the minimum investment someone can invest in your company with?
Marcus, it's not thousands of dollars. We have listed our shares on a portal called startengine.com, which all the audiences have seen it on the TV side at least. And you can buy our shares for a minimum investment of $250. That's the minimum investment, but in that the price of the share is $1 each, so you will get 250 shares for $250. Because of the SEC's limitations on promoting your own stock, I am limited to saying more than that. But $250 will buy you 250 shares. And when you go to our portal in the startengine.com and go to search for our brand, there are many disclosures that you need to know before you invest it. As with anything else, it's a risky venture and there are risks involved. So please, before you take a step on my saying, please look at all the disclosures, all the risk factors, and then join us. But once you join us, then we will, of course, we will be coming back to you for, multiple other things, and we will be probably sharing our new products with you before anybody else tastes it, because now you're the ownership. You are part of a select group of people who own the brand, and then we will send you, the documentation, and then probably we'll talk to your friends and say, well, look, I own this brand. Please try this because it adds the value to the brand actually. And but without saying too much, and I don't want to get in trouble with the law. The SEC is very strict about this. Please look at all the disclosures on startengine.com /red-I-Louie.
Absolutely. And that makes perfect sense. So minimum investment, $250 to get in. A lot of my audience members have asked, Marcus, I'm sitting on money, I'm sitting on capital. If you have capital to invest and you've lost faith in the stock market, mutual funds, 401ks, this is your way to take part in the Amazon of the future, right? Everyone says, well, I didn't have, if I had one chance to invest in Amazon when they first got their start. Now I am bringing to you the expert. The expert. The expert here.
You're very kind with your words.
I've had too much to I may have had too many sips. Forgive me, y'all. This is really good. But this is your opportunity to get in on the ground up and the startup of a company that is taking off. And you can get in for a minimum investment of $250 after reviewing all the disclosures and connecting with his team. But once you are in, you are part of the family.
It is absolutely right. And we will share with you the information that what's coming up next, which is we do not share with the open market, but there are 4 brands coming up, and they will be disruptive also, and they'll be very nice packaging. But at this point, we are just developing them. And the money that we raise from this sale of our stock is to not only increase and sustain the brand that we already have in market, but use some portion of the money to develop the new products and then bring them in the market. And it takes a lot of funds to start brands. You are all aware of it, that some brands come in a hurry and then die. We don't want to be one of them. So we just want to sustain. So we'll do it one step at a time. We'll do it right way and not in a hurry.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. That makes absolute sense. And we want you to grow. We have to uplift you and take this family-owned business to the next level. Mr. Chander, what books do you recommend every man or woman should read?
I have been an avid reader when I was young, and even still read today. Nowadays, you don't read the books. You just go to Amazon and download whatever the books you want. I'm sorry I brought the name Amazon, but they are the best source of information in print form anywhere. You don't have to buy the book. But the books that inspired me, and I read that book when I was 17 years old, 17 years old, was Think and Grow Rich, which was written by Napoleon Hill. It was written late 1800s, actually not even 1900. It was written early 1900s maybe. But this book has been relevant that time, has been relevant 100 years or even further down. Think and Grow Rich. And if you read that, that has a lot of things that every other financial guru or self-help people are saying the same thing. But actually, I think all grew from that book, Think and Grow Rich. And then the other book that I recommend, I gave it as a gift to my children when they graduated, was the Dale Carnegie Win Friends, and how to make friends, and like a sales site.
Win friends and influence others.
Influence people. Yeah. And you know that the best investor in the world took some Dale Carnegie classes before he became the biggest investor, Mr. Warren Buffett. His speaking ability came from those classes actually in 1940s or 50s. So those are some of the books that I read that has helped me in my business, in my thinking, in my imagination, in my drive, because none of these ventures are easy. They take a lot of guts. They take a lot of effort. They take a lot of perseverance. You have to be there. But those are the guides that you follow. But one book I want to recommend, which is now fictional, but has been very influential on my brain, has been The Count of Monte Cristo. It was written by Alexander Dumas, which was the author of The Three Musketeers. That's the very popular movie, Three Musketeers, movie, book, and all that. But he wrote another book called Count of Monte Cristo. A movie has been made about it. If you read that book, it's very inspiring. It's about somebody who got done wronged in his own home, in his own country. He leaves to go to another land, and comes back home to reclaim his family's glory and all that. And I think that's very encouraging, that when you are down, that doesn't mean you're out. and he was just thrown away from for being just outcast with a very rich family, and he came back to own the same land that he lost. And that's some of those stories are very inspiring. Beyond that, you have so many beautiful books out there that we can all read. But these were the three books that have really impacted me, and they're all 30, 40 years old stories. I did not read them lately. I read them when I was in 20s, and they have shaped my life actually.
Still to this day.
Till
And I love that. I've read two of those books. I need to check out that third one. So I am taking notes as you were speaking. Forgive me. Mr. Chander, what is your favorite way to give back to your community?
We have partnered with the local police departments. We are based in a very small town, and we gave money for the officer dog, canine officers, so that our department could get more dogs. But we are personally and my family wise, we are animal lovers. So we, as a Red Eye Louie, as a company, we support our Humane Society, which is Shelby County Humane Society, where we live, and all my staff on the company time go and volunteer there. We I do not volunteer as much as I would like to because I have a lot of the date conflicts and a lot of appointments. But my staff does, and on a regular basis. But we would like to further on, as the environment opens up, we would probably like to add some more charitable work. But that's how I can do, and we have offered our expertise to any school or local institution that would like us to come and speak to the young adults that they are growing up and they need to hear about the things that a startup is a very fascinating story. Some of them start up and then don't go nowhere. Some of them start up and go somewhere, but both of them, the one that didn't make it, the one made it, have incredible stories actually of the determination about the start. So we are available for any interaction with the children. I'm more inclined to teach the uh, young adults that how or what it takes to be on your own actually. So I am thinking about going in that direction probably in a year or so and start working towards that.
That's powerful. And tell us again, how can my audience connect with you? How can my audience invest with you? How can my audience stay connected to the Red Eye Louie brand?
Well, investment, I mentioned it in previous a few minutes that our portal is startengine.com, and you have it there. And if you just want to go directly to it, it'll be www.startengine.com/red-i-louie. That's the main investment portal. And for us to showcase our goods, we of course have our own website. It's called Red Eye Louie, REDEYELOUIS.com. Here you have all the information. You can join us, our list of followers. But then, as everybody knows, that nowadays is not the day of the website, is the day of the social media. So, we got our handles way early. So we have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, we have a LinkedIn, and we have a TikTok. We have our what you call blog, and we try to stay active on that. My team regularly posts updates. We try to stay ahead of the curve and look at what's going on in the market and keep our followers interested in our products. And every time we come across a new recipe that either my team has generated or coming from the public, that we get a lot of feedback, and then we just post it over there, get it out. Because if you enjoy my drink, maybe my other friends in Germany might enjoy it because they don't see what we are doing in USA. So same thing when something happened in Australia, they send it to us, we will just post it to United States. So we are very interactive. We if you ask a question, within about a day, you will get an answer. Somebody will reach back to you. If you have a problem, also, we are again open. It's not always bed of roses. If you have an issue with the product, if you have an issue with the packaging, we are still open on those channels. You can reach out to us, or you can reach out to us at info@redeye.com. That email comes straight to me, and I look at it regularly. If there is an issue that you want to reach out to us, please do it info@redeye.com, and we will get back to you ASAP, because that's something that is very important to me, because we want to produce a quality product. We want you to be happy. And if something goes wrong in the glass, in the cap, in the printing, or in the box, please let us know, because I will not only make good for the price that you paid, I want to correct it from you in the future to happen again. So it takes a two-way street. We try to produce a good product, but we are not the actual users, because we don't consume it at such a level. When the consumer comes back and tell us that, look, your cap broke, and the glass is there, and it can happen to everything. We need to correct it so that it doesn't happen again. So we are very open to feedback from you guys. Of course, when you say, "Oh, I like it, I love it," because you like it, that's why I'm selling it. But I love that part, and we'll be showing emojis like, all kind. But if there's a problem, we are still here. So
I love that. I love that. You all have been incredible. Thank you for tuning in. We have to give the CEO and founder back, because he has some more delicious spirits, because I took all three of these off the shelf. So he has more to distill. But
thank you.
Mr. Chander, sir, I want to thank you for spending time with me, my audience, and giving back in this way. I consider this giving back to the community. And I thank you for blessing me with this Vodquila, Whiskyla mix. And I'm going to spread the word with whatever I have left and whichever part I haven't drunk off, because it is that good. Absolutely.
You are a fantastic host, and thank you for having me. And just like that, it's all God's grace. Nothing happens without His grace. And United States is the best country on earth, and that's the country that gave us a chance to come here and make something out of us. So let's bless both of those. God's blessing to me and to the United States. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And thank you all for tuning into Gentleman Style Podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning into the show. And please stay tuned and stay connected as we bring you more quality episodes. We are on iHeartRadio, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and wherever media and video can be played. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I always say, take care of your families, take care of your homes, and take care of business. This is Marcus Norman and Mr. Chander, CEO and founder of Red Eye Louie Spirits, signing off. Love you guys. Bye.